Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another news episode for you guys tonight. Of course, it isn't really much of a news episode, of course. But again, I'm still on cloud seven. Usually we say we're on cloud nine, but of course, we are on cloud seven from, of course, Liverpool beating Manchester United by 7 goals to nil. I think pretty much all of Liverpool supporters are very well, still high from that win against Manchester United. And again, I think we deserve it as well for the amount of crap football Liverpool have played this season. I think battering the Manx was actually quite nice as well. So again, we're going to be talking about, of course, Manchester United. Um, well, just a little bit more as well. I know, I know a couple of you guys already mentioned it in the chat down below, of course, but we are going to mention, of course, the likes of Mohamed Salah. Of course, we're going to talk about Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo. It goes on and on and on, of course, but we are going to talk about that as well in tonight's episode. Of course, I obviously, from you guys can see by the thumbnail and the title as well. Of course, we are going to be talking, of course, about the rumours over the last day or two. Of course, with RB Leipzig's Gravidol, I believe his name is. Again, I apologize if I butchered his name. Of course, the Croatian defender for RB Leipzig. Again, very interesting news coming out concerning him as well. And of course, we will be showing you next season's away kit that I'm just going to say it now. I don't like it. Really don't like it. I don't know why they've done what they've done. Again, the one word I think I can use to describe it is Minecraft kit, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense, but Minecraft kit for me anyway. But let me know how you lot are feeling anyway, guys. Let me know, you know, are you still buzzing from obviously Liverpool beating Man United 7-0? Of course, how's your day been and so on and all that good stuff as well. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Redbird saying 7 Up, everyone as well. Yeah, I wish I bought a 7 Up can, like what Jamie Carragher did. Of course, because it is Champions League night as well. Hi Connor as well, says Brian. And Brian also saying Havertz just missed a penalty. So yeah, I know Chelsea were 1-0 up from I think Sterling, wasn't it? I believe. Um, and again, I think look, I had Dortmund to go through because I did think Dortmund was very much going to be very much winning the game because I didn't think Chelsea would come back in that regard. Talio all being 7 Up lads. Well, yeah, absolutely. And Talio totally buzzing calling out once in a lifetime result as well. But we say this, I think pretty much all of us last year when we laughed at beating them 9-0 on aggregate, I think all of us thought that, oh, that won't be, that won't happen ever again. And lo and behold, we end up beating them 7-0 in a game, and that's when we think about it, right? For me, the one thing that shocked me a little bit coming out of that game, I've watched replays on it, I've watched extended highlights, I think I watched the first half back as well. What shocks me is just United's discipline, really, because if someone had just watched that first 45 minutes, left, didn't know the result, and then came back and watched the game, they'd be like, "What on earth happened?" What on earth happened to Manchester United? Because normally, by that scoreline, you'd think you know, they'd have a red card, or you'd have a few different excuses to make up in terms of losing by that amount of goals to Liverpool. But it just wasn't. And again, I've seen plenty of people criticise the likes of Gary Neville as well for his lack of criticism towards Manchester United. I know, judging on Sky, I've seen a couple of people on a few podcasts mentioning, Gary Neville, and they did have a go at Cara as well about not really analysing the game, not really having a go at them, and so on, and not properly, talk about what went wrong. They were just acting like fans, which again, I think that's the whole purpose towards Sky Sports. But again, remember, of course, Gary Neville did say that Liverpool didn't play that well, which in my opinion, if you're not playing well when you're beating, your nearest rivals, the rivals that are currently on top of the form sheet, and are quote unquote challenging for a quadruple in their own words, not mine. Again, Liverpool played brilliantly. Yes, it was helped by the one or two um, poor defending from Manchester United. More, Lisandro Martinez, of course, Luke Shaw as well. I've said it to you guys. I don't rate Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw is, I think I could be a better left back than Luke Shaw. I genuinely think he's a woeful defender. Penalty being retaken as well, says Brian. Did it go in, Brian, as well? What made it was Gakpo Nunes scoring as well. Yeah, exactly. And Manchester United supporters over the last 6-7 months have called the likes of Darwin Nunes and Cody Gakpo complete and utter flops. And I've said it to you guys for the last couple of weeks. You could see that front three was gelling and starting to do something good. Now, Jamie Carragher mentioned something very good on the analysis on Monday Night Football, where Arsenal did it, but I think Liverpool did it a bit better in exploiting Casemiro. You know, the number one player for Manchester United has been Marcus Rashford. We know this, but what everyone has said, quite obviously, is that Casemiro has been the glue to that team, and he was getting dragged out left, right, and centre because Cody Gakpo was forcing him out, Harvey Elliott was forcing him out, and then you had that position then between the two sitting midfielders in being Fred and Casemiro, and Cody Gakpo as a false nine was taking up positions constantly, and trying to get in behind, force the ball through, and that for me was what changed the game. It made it better in the second half. The first half, I think, between the 15th minute and probably the 40th minute, United were, was a bit mix and match. Obviously, Liverpool and United were both fighting back and forth, but I think from the 40th minute onwards, I think Liverpool absolutely battered Manchester United. And I think, to be honest with you, I think we talk about obviously where is Cody Gakpo's best position. I think the false nine, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And I didn't think that. I still think when Liverpool have a rebuild, I still think that Liverpool's best front three is Luis Diaz, Darwin, and Mo. But it gives you that option. And like I said, potential 4-2-3-1 as well. It gives you a variety of options. I think Virgil van Dijk spoke about Cody Gakpo in terms of how he's learning off Roberto Firmino. And we've all known that Gakpo is the Bobby replacement now. We know that quite clearly now because obviously Bobby's going. But I think even Virgil mentioned it where, Gakpo is learning a lot at the moment from Roberto Firmino. And of course, Gakpo's played centre forward. He's played there for PSV. He's played there for Holland. Mainly played there for Holland during the World Cup. But of course, he's been a left winger for the majority of his career in Holland. But I think when Liverpool, I think when Liverpool are back fully fit, I think Gakpo might be a bench player a little bit in terms of he might be on the bench where, some games we might have Diaz, Nunes, and Salah. Other games we might have Jota and Gakpo in games. Again, it gives you a good variety of options. And I'm not saying, again, Cody Gakpo is a bench player. I'm absolutely not saying that because I think Diogo Jota's not a bench player, but it'll be easily rotated. We've seen this season how the likes of Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz before he got injured, had to play every single game because we were mostly relying on them to perform. But I think next season judging from the reports as well, that next season we're going to be playing a load of less preseason games, which is, I think, a good sign. I think Liverpool have learned from their mistakes. I was going past. I think Liverpool played, I think, 7 preseason games, which, if you tie into um, the back end of last season, of course, going for a quadruple. Again, it was very much a load of games, I think, within a month spell. So again, it wasn't the best in that regard. So I think Liverpool, learning from their mistakes, of course, will be a lot better in that regard. And again, Cody Gakpo, he's versatile, isn't he? Can play on the left, can play as a centre forward. But I think what was, again, going back, just backtracking a little bit, going back into the Manchester United point, for me, this game was the first proper game where that front three looked like the old front three in terms of Bobby, Mane, Mo as well, in terms of just threatening every single time that front three went forward, it was going to score. And even when Bobby come on, even when Jota come on, it looked exactly the same. It looked like Liverpool were going to score, and it was brilliant to see. It was brilliant to watch. And for me, I give my man of the match to Mo, but looking back at the game, I think Cody Gakpo was a big shout out as well for man of the match. As well. So again, hopefully this can be continued on, of course, to Bournemouth on the weekend. And of course, I hope to God it does get moved on to Bournemouth, because again, top 4, it's there for Liverpool now. And I put a tweet out, the night of the game, and I said, save this tweet, Liverpool will get top 4, and I still think Liverpool will get top 4 now. I didn't believe. A couple of weeks ago, I was a bit, no, I don't think Liverpool will get top 4. Now I do think Liverpool will get top 4. I think Liverpool have bucked up their ideas, and I think Jurgen even mentioned it, where we're five games now, we've got 5 clean sheets. Yes, we've won 4 games, we've drawn 1. Okay, you've got the Madrid game in that as well, but Liverpool have bucked up their ideas massively. And looking at the fixtures, the very, obviously every game is difficult and hard, but the big games now for Liverpool are all at Anfield, and that's an advantage point for Liverpool. And again, we've got Chelsea coming up, we've got Spurs coming up, we've got Arsenal coming up as well. So for me, I think Liverpool will get top 4. Let me know your guys' thoughts as well. Looking at the next couple of games, I think Brian's just put it in the chat, but they're now Bournemouth, City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. If I'm being honest, I think Liverpool get 9 points from that. Did they get 9 or did they get 10? No, they get 10. They get 10. I think they get 10 points from that. Christ, what am I saying? But I think Liverpool get 10 points from those next couple of games. I think we beat Bournemouth. I think we draw against City. I think we beat Chelsea away, and I think we beat Arsenal at home. That's my opinion anyway. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts, because I think, again, plenty of people will have their different thoughts and different opinions as well. We will get on to Gvardiol in a brief moment, guys, as well. Obviously, big news concerning him as well. But let me read your guys' thoughts in the chat. So you're saying 8-0 next year? Yeah, clip it. I'm not saying 8-0, but if from what I saw from Ten Hag, because Ten Hag didn't know what to do against Manchester United. Of course, I'm not saying 8-0. That's don't get us wrong. The actual score line was an outrageous one. But don't get me wrong, there are players in that Manchester United squad, in my opinion, if United want to compete in terms of the Premier League title, they need to get rid of them. Or they don't need to be the main people in the team. Those being both Bruno Fernandes, Luke Shaw. I'm just trying to think who else. Anthony. Even Anthony in that regard, 100 billion quid, and again, remember all the United fans going, "Oh, you spent 100 million on Darwin Núñez," when we didn't spend 100 million on Darwin Núñez, and now he's going. I think everyone can see now Darwin Núñez is going to be a brilliant footballer, a brilliant striker for Liverpool Football Club. I can't freaking wait. But no, I think Anthony needs time. Don't get me wrong; it's funny to see a £100 million fidget spinner get absolutely torn to shreds on social media. In terms of, was it that Neymar control that he tried to do, and it spoiled the United counter attack, something like that. I swear I've seen it as well, but again, I'm not sure. I think they need to get rid of Bruno as captain, in my opinion. I think Bruno Fernandes is, again, his antics. If he's not dropped for, they have Betis on Thursday, United. I think, again, if they don't drop him for that, then I'd be shocked, if I'm being honest. But scored this time 2-0 as well. Oh, it's 2-0. Is it 2-0 Chelsea? Bloody hell. That's not good for certain people's bets as well. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, Chelsea 2-0 up. Jesus Christ. I did think Dortmund going to win tonight. What we got? Redbirds saying Salah for one season wonder, Gap wasting money, Nunes can't score. Oh, we love our flops. Yeah, we do. Absolutely love them as well. Of course, Mohamed Salah becoming. Oh, yeah, we did mention as well. Of course, Mo Salah, top Premier League goal scorer in Liverpool's history. Absolutely amazing. We made them look bad and against boys. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Doug, as well. Saying hello from online. Robbo no more Premier League assist than Ozil. Yeah, I think is he one off Paul Scholes? I think, is he past Paul Scholes? I know he's got more assists than Ozil now. Premier League assists. I can't remember whether or not I've seen so many stats and data. I can't remember if he's one away from passing Paul Scholes or if he's one away from passing Ashley Young assists records. There we go. I can't remember. Chat, if you guys know, then let me know. I think the all-time records is set by Giggs, isn't it? I think in terms of that, let me have a look. Steven Gerrard, Ashley Young. So yeah, so Ashley Young is 71. Where's Andy Robertson? I don't know. Can Ashley Young be classed as a defender, guys? As well, I'm not particularly sure on that. Where is he? Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson. Oh yeah, he's equal Paul Scholes. Sorry, so he needs one more assist to break the record. So he's currently Andy Robertson is currently 27th in the all-time Premier League assists. Peter Crouch had 58 assists. Striker, Jesus Christ! Didn't expect him to have that many as well when I'm actually looking at him as well. But yeah, I think if you class Ashley Young as a defender, which again I don't really class him as a defender. Again, he was a left wing that turned into a left back as well. But I think he's one away, isn't he? Predicted 2-1 Chelsea as well, says Redbird. We'll need 5 or 6 to rotate. Plenty of minutes as well. Yeah, absolutely. Evening Doug as well, says Brian. Hi to Brian. Hannah's in as well, saying evening all. Gvardiol would be a great signing as well. We'll get on to him in a moment, of course. The news concerning him. Bournemouth, City, Chelsea, and Arsenal next as well. Yeah, tough games coming up for the Reds. Thank you, Bri, for that. What else do we have? City and Chelsea both away. I know they're both away. I think the thing is, Liverpool performed this season against big teams, apart from Real Madrid, in that regards. Anyway, but against big teams in the league, Liverpool have done actually quite well. even though we have played poor for the most part of the season. But yeah, I think City and Chelsea for me. I think Liverpool. I think we draw City, beat Chelsea. I think. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think he's past goals now, mate. I know he's equal with goals, Doug, as well. He's one away from beating goals. Past Hazard too. Yeah, I've seen something on Talk Sport, right? And this what annoys me, right? When you've got Manchester United supporters on Talk Sport talking about Liverpool players, um, when they turn around and they're like, does Mo Salah get into the Premier League team? Does he get into a Premier League 11 of all time? And I think he does on that right hand side. There's nobody that's been better than him on that right hand side. And then I think talked about they were trying to compare just wingers in general. Is Mohamed Salah better than this one, this player, this player? And I think talked about it a good like 15, 20 minute conversation where they were like, oh, Eden Hazard's better than Mo Salah. Are you mad? Are you absolutely mad? Eden Hazard had one good season. And I mean like world class season. He had one good season. Mo Salah's had 5 or 6. Let's not get this twisted. Like, Mo Salah has he's played 99% of Liverpool games since joining the club. Eden Hazard had 12 months off, 13 months off after they won a league title. He had one good game against Spurs that season. That was it. He did nothing else that season. Did absolutely nothing. And we're meant to believe that Eden Hazard is close to Mohamed Salah. Not in a million years. Mo Salah is there. Eden Hazard is there, in my opinion. Nowhere near each other in those regards, anyway. But if anyone else saw it, it was absolutely ridiculous. And again, Talksport, if you're watching, sort it out, please. Again, they won't be watching, but again, I'm stocked up on the 7 Up. It cost me £7 altogether. Jesus. Was it Carragher against Schmeichel today, where he was like, "What's the 7th day of the 7th year or something?" He just can't mention it 7, didn't he? If anyone's seen it as well, but no way I'm having Ashley Young as a defender. I wouldn't have him as a defender. I'd have him as a midfield forward. But again, people were, I think, I've seen yesterday, people were like, "Oh yeah, Ashley Young is the defender." I was like, "Well, no, he played left back for Manchester United because they had nobody else at left back." That's like saying James Milner's a defender. He's not. He's played left back and right back, but he's not a defender by trade. Well, to be fair, he could be everything, couldn't he, James Milner? No chance corner as well. No way is Ashley Young a defender. I agree. 1,000% with you guys. I absolutely agree. I fancy us at Chelsea and a draw at City. Yeah, I agree, absolutely. What do you make of the new league kit? We will get on to that. That's towards the back end of the show. I fancy us to turn Bournemouth over, to be honest. They'll still be as bad as they were at Anfield back in the summer. But they had a good game, didn't they, against Arsenal, where they were winning 2-0. So I think, again, they'll be hoping to get a result from that, I'd say anyway. But again, I think Liverpool will as you say, Anna, I think they'll turn over Bournemouth, to be fair. Andy Goldstein, Goldstein, is that how you pronounce his name? Has always had an agenda of Salah, mate. Just boring. But Doug, you saw it, and I don't get it, genuinely. Like, just get a piece of paper, slap the stats and the statistics in front of him, and just make him sit there until he agrees. Because again, it's idiotic, man. Absolutely idiotic. The longer the league goes on, the harder it is to pick 11. What's that in terms of starting 11s in Premier League? Yeah, probably, but like I wouldn't put Ronaldo in the Premier League all-time 11. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah, I wouldn't put Cristiano Ronaldo in the top 11 in the starting 11 for the Premier League 11. That's what I would say anyway. Um, like on that left hand side, I would put Thierry Henry. I know Thierry Henry played striker, but probably to fill out. Maybe we should do a video on it differently, but separately, I should say. But again, personally, I would put Thierry Henry ahead of Ronaldo, because I did think Thierry Henry was the best non-Liverpool player when I was growing up, anyway. But of course, that's a whole debate in itself. Anybody see Trent Spring get back to tackles Rashford, even though it ended up being offside, like the old Trent as well? Yeah, no, it was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Again, I think pretty much Trent. Trent for me he's been much better since the World Cup, since after the World Cup. Sorry, before it, Jesus Christ, I wanted Trent at the team, but now he's performing well, and creatively as well, he's performing well. Does anyone think Gakpo's first goal was Henry-esque? Yeah, I think his second goal was phenomenal. Um, I think obviously Mo Salah helps in that regard as well, with him sending Lissandro Martinez to another universe, but obviously sending the butcher to the other universe, I should say. But yeah, I think the second goal was a lot nicer. But yeah, both goals were brilliant, though, weren't they? Mark Goldbridge is less biased than some of these so-called natural journalists. Mark Goldbridge is sound. Again, Mark can have his own opinions on things, but I think he's pretty level-headed. Where again, he was one of these supporters of Manchester United that were quite level-headed when Gakpo and Darwin Núñez signed for Liverpool. He said it, didn't he? That United wanted both of them. He wanted both of them. Could see the talent in both of them. And again, United supporters who were saying, "Oh, they're crap, they're flops," and that. Mark Goldbridge was like, "No, they're not. They're going to be phenomenal. Liverpool don't sign flops in that regard." And again, they've proved it. And that's the thing. I think some Liverpool fans can be included in this as well. For me to say as well, people's people's expectations have been hired because of the signings of like Luis Diaz, for example, where okay, we knew he was brought in to be a Sadio Mane replacement, um, and I think obviously with him being amazing straight off the bat, like he knew the system, he knew what was expected of him, and it just worked, and he helped us so much in that second half of the season. I think everyone has like, I think some people have had that expectation when it comes to Gakpo and the likes of Darwin Núñez. Now, if you look at Darwin Núñez's history, for example, he hasn't hit the heights that he has done in his first season. He didn't do it in Spain in his first season. He didn't do it at Benfica in his first year, and he hasn't done it. He's been brilliant for Liverpool, but he hasn't been that top world class like he was last season with Benfica. And again, new country, different language, you're learning different things. But that's the thing where people's expectations have been like, oh, you must work straight away. You must get 30, 40, 50 goals in a season. Like what, for example, like Erling Haaland has done. And what I think people don't realize is, and when you look at the stats, for example, just look at Darwin Núñez, for example, Darwin Darwin's numbers compared to the likes of Bobby Firmino, for example, Sadio Mane, when they first come into the club, completely different, and completely better in those regards. And the same with Cody Gakpo, to be fair. Again, they need time to adjust into the team, need time to gel, and so on, and find their rhythm. And I think now Liverpool have found that. They've found a system, and they found stuff that works at the moment. And again, things will change probably in 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks time. because Luis Diaz is back, and then you've got an extra element to Liverpool's attack in finding other solutions against other teams. You look at it against Arsenal. Arsenal at the Emirates, we played a 4-2-3-1. I fully expect probably Liverpool might play a 4-2-3-1 against Arsenal again because it worked that day. It's just sadly, again, there was a few decisions that didn't go our way. We should have had a penalty. I think their penalty was soft on the day, and that. And again, Liverpool didn't play good at all that day, but I think Liverpool deserves something from that game. And again, there's different options and varieties, but I think people expectations, I think, on signings have been a little bit too high, if you get what I mean. His reaction to the seventh goal was amazing as well. Mo still had the confidence to give that pass to Gakpo, knowing how tight the angle was. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a brilliant goal. That might be one of Liverpool's best goals under Jurgen Klopp. I think it's a really, really good goal. Nunes' reverse header was a beauty as well. He did the same, didn't he, against Ten Hag in the Champions League last season for Benfica. Sorry, so yeah, it's nice that it continues as well. I've always said I like Goldbridge. He's not what a lot of folks expect. Not a lot of folks expect maybe in the early days, but it's not not a long time in my opinion as well. I saw someone write Gakpo off after 3 games. People challenged him, and he just said, "If football, 3 games is all you need to know if someone is good enough." Again, it's so stupid. It's like it's like people now. If, for example, say for example, if Liverpool do sign Jude Bellingham and Jude Bellingham doesn't hit the ground running on day one at Liverpool, which if he did sign, he would. No, don't get us wrong, he would. But people will be like, "Oh, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, did he?" And then try and make up an agenda against the player. Like again, like this season, look at Mo. We've criticised Mohamed Salah for not performing at times, but then you look at his numbers and you're like, Jesus Christ, he's not. It's a poor season for Liverpool, but Mo Salah is still having a very, very good season for Liverpool. And yeah, again, people will have one little thing and then make an agenda about it. But I think you're right. People have had the expectations sold by the likes of Diaz as well. Yeah, no, I think they have. And again, that's not anyone's fault really. In that regard, I don't think that's anyone's fault. It's just when you do have an amazing signing like Luis Diaz, you then go, well, if Liverpool's recruitment team can get someone that right, it should continue onwards. But again, everyone's human, and people don't forget about that sometimes, including me. Look, I've criticised majority of this team this season. I've even said Liverpool won't get top four. Now I think Liverpool will get top four. Again, though, if we lose against Bournemouth, it's like, oh, we're not getting top four in that regard as well. Do you think Eric Seven Hag disrespected Liverpool? Yeah, I do. Nunes has all the finishes in his locker as well. Yeah, he does, absolutely. Sorry about the really long comment, by the way, but that became a bugbear of mine now as well. No problem, Hannah. Absolutely no problem. Comment as much as you want. Guy said Anfield was just another football pitch. He hasn't managed at Anfield as well. He did manage at Anfield, didn't he? It was no crowd. Am I right in saying that? Didn't we play Ajax in the Champions League? I might be wrong with that. I don't know if I am. I think he was Ajax manager, wasn't he? I think we beat them 1-0, didn't we? I think it was a Curtis Jones goal. I think. Jesus Christ, we're definitely talking about COVID times when we're talking about that. But yeah, I think he's played there once, hasn't he, Doug? But he hasn't played there in front of a crowd. So again, I do think he did massively underestimate Liverpool um, in that regard. But still, either way. But of course, we are going to move on, and we are going to talk now about RB Leipzig's Gvardiol. Of course, if you guys haven't seen him this season, again, he's been on the name, well, on the lips of a lot of journalists, especially in Europe. Of course, having a good season with RB Leipzig. Of course, had a very, very good World Cup with Croatia as well. And of course, Fabrizio Romano has mentioned Liverpool's name in regards to him, of course. And of course, he's saying, but they are one of the most wanted players around Europe. Manchester City want him. Guardiola, big fan, and he's in Manchester City's list. Liverpool explored the conditions of the deal in January. Chelsea keen on signing him since last summer. Open race. And of course, Florian Plettenberg as well, also mentioning as well that, as reported yesterday, Liverpool is interested. He's on the list. It would be a great fitting, but I've been told that it's not hot at this stage. No negotiations. Leipzig want to keep him 100%. Release clause in the summer of 2024 is around 110 million euros, which again, that is of course around 97.8 million pounds, of course, but that is for next summer, so not this summer coming up, which of course we know the summer that of course is going to be headlined by Jude Bellingham and where he goes, but of course next summer as well. That is when that release clause comes in, and apparently RB Leipzig do not want to sell, as you know, Fabrizio Romano and Florian Plettenberg mentioned. They, both of them, the fact that RB Leipzig do not want to get rid of him. They know he wants to go to the Premier League. He's spoken about it for a very long time. I believe, of course, I think he's spoken about it when there was rumours of Chelsea going for him in the summer. Of course, I think couldn't get him because he was so expensive. I think he's spoken as well about Liverpool, him being a Liverpool supporter when he was young. And of course, that would be a perfect destination for him. I think was the phrase that he used, which of course is good news for Liverpool in that regard. But again, it's a very, very hefty price tag, I should say, for a centre half. You are talking about Virgil van Dijk levels in that regard, and I think for Liverpool, it's of course not a topic about this summer, but even next summer, if Liverpool was to get Jude Bellingham, could they then go out and spend another 90 million next summer on a centre half? I think it depends on what happens very much in this summer. Of course, we know Liverpool want at least two or three centre halves. Not centre half, centre midfield, sorry. But we know they also might be looking at a centre half if Joel Matip leaves Liverpool at the end of the season. So I think it opens up a question, doesn't it? I think at the moment Liverpool are keeping an eye as well on Antonio Silva from Benfica, so it will be interesting to see whether or not Liverpool or any of the Premier League clubs go after Gvardiol. I think, in my honest opinion, I do think that Liverpool would potentially be a Man City player if they can't get a big money signing in. Of course, he scored against Man City, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago in the Champions League. So, again, a very, very good centre half. I think plenty of people have already compared him to Dejan Lovren because, of course, Croatian links and so on. But again, left-sided centre half, about 21, 22 years of age. Again, looks to be one of those centre halves that has a full amount of potential and is already very, very good as well. And again, having a very, very good season with RB Leipzig as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below on Gvardiol, because I think plenty of people might be a bit mixed by it. I know that you guys will have seen the list already of centre halves with him, Antonio Silva. I think is it Arnacho, I think it is, from Sporting as well, has also got spoken about. And again, I think obviously high profile one is of course Gvardiol. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, but I think it will be interesting to see. I don't think he will move this summer coming up. I think next summer will definitely be the summer that he decides when he wants to go. And again, it's a release clause. I should say that as well. Again, obviously, he might want to leave, and again, Leipzig might agree to it. But again, not particularly sure in that aspect as well. But a few comments out there. Yes, we did, but no crowd as well. I thought the same. As well, says Brian. We definitely played Ajax as well. Yeah, I thought we did. Doug, I bet the sign, and this is Anfield and Tunnel Hunts, Man for Life as well. Was the course touching? Yeah, I've seen it. Was it the Wayne Hennessy situation? Uh, yeah, it's it's funny, isn't it? In those regards, Gvardiol has been battling his eyelids at us too as well. Yeah, no, he has. He absolutely has, and he did say in that interview, didn't he? That Liverpool was would be his favourite destination or his dream club. In that regards, but looking at 70 million this summer, I'd say if the player pushes a difficult deal as well, I don't think he moves this summer, if I'm being honest. I think Leipzig have already said that he's not. I think it would take over 100 million, I think, to get him out to Leipzig. Even with the good relationship that Liverpool have with RB Leipzig and the Leipzig or the Red Bull network. Again, I don't think Liverpool could get him out of Leipzig less than that as well. I can't talk. Less than that, anyway, I should say. But Hannah, yes, he's put on social media he was trying to stop VD from touching it. Yeah, he did say, didn't he? It's like a shit ass apology, wasn't it? Which again, I don't get why he's replied back to it. Like, I think the best thing would have been was for him to just stay silent, but he was like I don't normally comment on social media things, but this I had to comment on. And then he said that like Liverpool, like he's had no affiliation with Liverpool Football Club. But then if you go back to a 2020 interview that he did while at Burnley, he spoke about how he was a big admirer of Liverpool growing up and a big admirer for Liverpool while he's in the Premier League, and he did an whole interview speaking about Liverpool. It must have been when we must have been playing them or something, but still, like he's spoken about being an admirer of Liverpool, and then in that little like social media clip, he's then going, "Oh no, I don't want anything to do with Liverpool." It was just so funny reading it as well. But yes, as well. Between this summer and next, we need to replace Matip and Gomez. So one this year, I think, as well. We will get a centre half in. I don't think we have any doubt about that. I think Liverpool Liverpool will get at least three midfielders in the door, and I think a centre half. I think is what will come in the door anyway. I would love Indika, but Indika is off to Barcelona on a free transfer, unfortunately. Right, but yeah, Indika would be amazing from Frankfurt. Was going to do a video on him, but then I spoke to someone about him, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's going to Barcelona." And then I think Fabrizio Romano tweeted out saying that, "Yeah, he's off to Barcelona." So fantastic, absolutely brilliant in that regard. Anyway, but yeah, he's free. Oh my goodness, let me quickly check something. Did that happen? No, it didn't. But I mean, he was clearly not trying to stop anyone from touching the sign. He just wanted to touch it. Weirdo. Bit of a weirdo. Like, Gomez is going nowhere as well. Gomez, no. I think Matip might be out the door in the summer. Oh, is he? Yeah, he's off to Barcelona. Terramone, Jesus Christ, get that out of the atmosphere, Doug. Liverpool need a cam as well. Gakpo, already got a cam. Gakpo, Carvalho as well that we haven't seen. The new Kings, if the free transfers, a lot of the free transfers, Barcelona, yeah, they've taken over from Napoli, not Napoli, sorry, from Juventus. They've taken over. So yeah, again, I just think that overall, I think Liverpool I think he would have been on Liverpool's list, Ndika, but again, supposedly Ndika was on, I think United's list as well, and again, he's gone to Barca. It's all done in that regard, anyway. But moving on as well to the last little piece of the show, because then I'll have to head off in a moment. My nose is itching like crazy. I don't know why. So apologies, chat. Um, Liverpool's leaked. Well, moving on to the next story, Liverpool's leaked home kit for next season has been leaked. And like I said at the start of this show, I think that it's very much like a Minecraft kit, in my opinion. Um, this is it. Jesus Christ, I don't like it at all. Of course, we've had similar kits like this. Um, I think back in 17, 18, I think we had an away kit, didn't we, that was kind of similar to this. Um, I don't like this kit. It reminds me of, is it this season's home goalkeeper kit or last season's home goalkeeper kit? And someone have just like taken something out there, got a white and black Liverpool kit and just shoved it on there. I don't like it whatsoever. It's absolutely horrific. And yeah, I'm definitely not going to be buying that next season. But in saying that, I think if we see Virgil van Dijk wearing it, Virgil van Dijk can make anything look good. Let's be honest. But Nike and Liverpool in that regard, we're trying to fund Jude Bellingham for you guys, and you're giving us this. You're giving us this. No, no. Just take the green away. Take the green away. Have a white and black kit, and it looks kind of good in that regard. Or just make us like, just make it green. I don't know. Just do something else. It looks terrible. I don't like it. It's so bad. But yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But yeah, as Redbird has put it, yeah, it's not the best, is it, chat? That kit is certainly unique. That's one word for it, Hannah. It's awful corner as well. Yeah, absolutely. What the hell is that? I did shorts on this, and I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't think anyone is. I think the more and more people have seen it, the more and more they're like, well, it reminds me of a Minecraft kit. I don't know why. It looks like they started designing it and then just stopped. It's better than what the leak designs were for it, but it's still not good. It's really not good in that regard. And again, the photo that I've taken as well is it's I don't know how to describe it. It's if you get what I mean. Like it's the pro version of it, so that will be the kit for next season. Like I think the one was done by I think the other photo that was leaked was the 3D model of it. That's what it's like. I don't like it. I genuinely don't. For me, I don't get why. Again, Nike's whole approach for Liverpool has been simple away kits, and then simple home kits. Sorry, and then unique away kits, and that's not unique. It's horrific. It's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts as well. But I can see Minecraft. Yeah, definitely. Albertson as well saying he's Barca bound, but the deal is still not done. It's not done, but I think similar to how Frank Kessie wasn't that much done, and how other players that have gone to Barca over the last year or so haven't got done. Again, I think Ndika's going to Barca. We need Gvardiol done, and that's all. So we'll get you Bellingham in as well. To be fair, I think Chelsea actually beat Dortmund, didn't they, as well? So Jude out the Champions League. That's pretty bad as well. But yeah, I think we're going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, a big thank you to all of you guys. We have been live for 50 minutes as well. Maybe we might do a news episode for you guys tomorrow if there is any news in that regard, or the next episode will be on Thursday, and then preview show on Friday as well. Anyway, but hopefully you lot have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. Of course, we've spoken about Liverpool beating Manchester United by, of course, 3 goals, 7 goals to nil. Of course, we've also spoken about Gvardiol as well, and of course, the news of Fabrizio Romano and Florian Plintenberg, mentioning, of course, he is on Liverpool's list, but it will take about 110 million euros to get him out of RB Leipzig from not this summer, next summer as well. And of course, we've also shown the horrible, uh, the horrible kit. I'm just gonna leave it there. It's absolutely horrific, isn't it, chat as well? But let me read out a few more comments as well. Uncle Albert is in the house, absolutely. That's Connor as well. Brian, game over Chelsea. That was Chelsea through it. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I thought Dortmund would have won because they've been impressive in the Bundesliga this season, and as well, you should do call-ins as well. We used to. I don't know why we really stopped. Maybe we might get back into it. Albert, let me know. Again, message us on Twitter. Because that's realistically our only form of contact. Or again, comment section and so on. I'll try and get in contact. But yeah, again, we might do something like that. Maybe if there's a topic that we want to get you guys on, or just maybe a post match show, perhaps. We might try and get a couple of views on as well. But yeah, maybe something. But that kit is not authentic. It's shocking. That's the one word for it. But yeah, it's the pro version of it that is currently leaked. So yeah, it's not the best, is it? In that regard, anyway. Well, Albert's last comment then, especially a call in dedicated to 7 Up as well. Yeah, we should have done maybe something like that. Hey, look, if we beat Bournemouth 9-0, we'll do something like that. So it won't be as good as being United and that, but still, either way. But that is going to be it from me, guys. If you're new around here, then please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And again, please hit that share button as well. It's very much appreciated as always. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with a news episode. Of course, there'll be more Champions League football, I think, tomorrow as well. So again, looking forward to that. But again, hopefully we might have some news as well. Concerning a few things Liverpool wise anyway. But I've been Connor from the Cop Council. See you tomorrow. Ta-ra.